Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the JT Effect. I'm glad to have you guys back. It is Saturday, and man, it's been a long week. It feels like it's been a long year already with 2020. It's been pretty eventful for a lot of us. I know that I feel mentally weighed down. If you watched the last interview with myself and Frank W. Johnson, we talked about definitely taking care of yourself because so much is going on that it can really weigh you down and can really start stressing you out with a lot of different things. But I just want to just say thank you guys for tuning in. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself because after this, I'm definitely gonna make sure I'm taking care of myself. I want to try to make this short today, but I wanted to talk about the presidential debate that happened the other day, and amongst a number of other things. And if you do want to chime in and say whatever you want to say about it, please feel free to do so. I want to hear your thoughts because it's definitely a lot to absorb in. Also, if you're watching, make sure that you are hitting the like button. Everyone that you're tuning in, be sure that you put in B1. That shows that we are Black first before anything else. And thank you for tuning in to Fly Nubian King, the network for where we have Black excellence, where Black excellence reigns. So thank you for tuning in. A lot of stuff happened with this debate with Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So I'm just going to get right into it. Um, it was better than the first debate, than what we saw. You could actually hear Joe Biden actually get his points across or get his thoughts across without Donald Trump interrupting, which actually in itself that was I was surprised. I'll give him that. I was surprised. I was kind of shocked that he wasn't jumping in and jumping on top of what Joe was saying initially. But as the debate went on, you can tell that his face was starting to contort and he wanted to say some stuff, which that was hilarious in itself. But to get right to it, after hearing what both of them had to say, they both made their points, hitting against one another, critiquing one another. Donald Trump was hitting Joe on a crime bill, which rightfully so. He should be hitting him on a crime bill. And Joe was hitting Donald Trump on this pandemic, how he was trying to downplay it, how he has been increasing, well, helping throw gas on the prejudice and racist rhetoric and things like that. And that he has been doing that. You know, he can't, and even to the point to where he said, I'm the least racist person in the room. Now, if you think about it, that was an interesting way of saying something like I'm the least. Not that I'm not racist at all. Which I'm not even. Honestly, I don't even really care about their point. But I heard somebody else talking about it, and I was just thinking, that's interesting. I'm the least racist person in the room. I'm not racist. I'm racist, but I'm the least racist. So that in itself is really funny. But yeah, they're both horrible option still, man. I mean, after watching that, and it's just like these guys, they are not. I've never been excited about Donald Trump ever. Joe, I think that he just should not have been the candidate for us. But the powers that be, the DNC, they wanted Joe, and the media that was been backing him, they've been pushing for Joe. And at this point, sadly, it is what it is with who we have. Because this honestly could have been a much better debate. Points could have been spoken more articulately, and clearly, and it's just it was kind of a mess to go through. And towards the end of the debate, they started breaking down a little bit. But all of this said, it's they, like I said, they both still suck. Actually, the good thing is that I did notice Joe did apologize for the crime bill. So I'll give him that. I'll give him that he apologized for the crime bill. A coworker of mine told me that he apologized in the first debate, which I don't really remember, but there was a lot of interruptions back and forth. So maybe he did. And as I was trying to, I think the same person I was trying to give, Trump his kudos whenever, he got in, and there was a thing, I think they were getting really emotional on it. And I was just like, hey, look, however you feel, you have to put your emotions aside. Okay. And especially on this show, on the JT Effect, I want to just enforce that we need to start thinking more logically and not really emotionally. Just we as a people, and really as a whole world, but also us as a Black community, we need to start thinking more logically and not so much with our emotions. So I can say when Trump has done something right. And also, if I'm going to do that, I can also say when Joe Biden has done something right. And for him to apologize for the crime bill, okay, I'll accept that. That doesn't mean I like you. I still don't have to like you because I do not like him as a candidate. I still think he is one of the worst choices that we can have as a candidate for the Democratic Party. But like, again, I said it is what it is. So this is the option that they have put up. This is the option that you have for the Democratic ticket. And of course, Donald Trump is the option you have for the Republican ticket. But, like I said, he did apologize, but that did have me think about, like, why did it take him so long to get to this point to finally apologize about the crime bill? Now, maybe he apologized sooner. If he did, please feel free to let me know in the comments, because, hey, I can't keep up with everything. There's so much going on in the world. I can only keep up with so much. So that's why I want to have this platform. I want to have this discussion here. So just in case somebody else might have noticed, please feel free to leave in the comments whether he apologized sooner. I don't know. But this is the first time with my own ears that I've heard him apologize for the crime bill. And it's sad that it took him this long. Like, how many weeks before the election, like the last day to vote, November 3rd? That's about, let me check. Let me check right now. It's already October 24th, a week and a half away before the election, and this dude is just, in a sense, just now apologizing. Like I said, again, supposedly he apologized in the first debate, so I'll accept it. But that also brings to mind that I remember back when I heard a previous interview, like 2 different interviews that he had when he was going against he was trying to be the candidate for the Democratic Party. He was going against Bernie Sanders. He was going against Pete Buttigieg. He was going against Elizabeth Warren, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Amy Klobuchar and the rest. I believe in 2 different interviews, he said that he wasn't going to apologize, or at least one interview, he said he wasn't going to apologize for the crime bill. And then in a more recent interview, because I went back and looked at the interview with him and Charlamagne the God on the Breakfast Club, and he was defending the crime bill. He was trying to make excuses for it, and, well, no, I didn't. Well, that's not what that was, because blah 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 blah, and all this, and the political dancing, and sadly, just like Donald Trump was saying, doing what a politician does, dancing around the subject, trying to distract and point out other things, or try to confuse you and talk about other stuff. And it was really annoying, because as I was watching that interview, and again, that's a no, if you want to go back and look at the interview, please go back. And Charlamagne the God, he's a great guy, I know some people feel certain ways about him, but as far as really trying to hold these politicians accountable and get these answers for us with the questions that we have, Charlamagne has been doing a really great job. He's been trying to educate, well, not he's been trying, he has been educating himself on the issues, what we can do, and using this platform to really try to hold these politicians accountable. So definitely kudos to Charlamagne. I don't even know if Charlamagne is going to watch this or whatever, but if you're watching, kudos, man. You're doing a great job, dude. Man, in that interview, he was asking questions and asking about the crime bill, and said even Hillary, came, before, 4 years ago, when she apologized for it. It's like, oh, well, she was wrong. She was wrong. I was just like, wow. And that's not that long ago. That was about 4 months ago? Again, put in the comments if I'm wrong on the, really, it doesn't even matter. It's a few months ago, so where he was saying that she was wrong, basically, for apologizing for the crime bill and all these kinds of things. And it was just, and now he's apologizing for it. And it's just like, it also reminds me of when everybody was getting on a section, really, I guess everyone who's watching this, by people who were basically talking about quid pro quo. Even Charlemagne the God mentioned it, quid pro quo. Like, what are you going to do for us? Like, and like he said, it's not like we're not going to vote. I'm not saying we're not going to vote, but we want something in return for our vote. And I remember even when I posted about that on my page, or I even talked about that, I was getting attacked. Like, we need to vote. We need to vote. What are you talking about? You just need to vote. You just got to get out there and vote. And it's just like, man, these people died for your vote. I'm like, hey, no, look, this is my vote. This is my vote. I have the option to do with it whatever I want. They didn't die for me to vote. Actually, just like Frank W. Johnson said 2 weeks ago, they were murdered. They were murdered. They didn't die. They were murdered. So let's get that right. They were murdered when they were trying to vote, even just trying to live. How many things have we been trying to do as regular people, just regular Black people, and we're getting murdered for it? We go and we fight in these wars. You come back home and you get lynched. So I mean, and it's like, just I fought to protect your rights, and I'm getting hung from a tree. And that's the thanks for my service to protect you and your rights. So I don't like that narrative of, oh, these people died for you. Man, we've been murdered all along the way. No matter how far you go back in any way, shape, or form you look at it, we've been murdered left and right. So don't use that excuse on me. Oh, they died for you. No, I don't want to hear that. A lot of stuff that we should have, we should just have. And if other people can use their vote or withhold their vote, that's their prerogative. So don't have me feeling bad because I want to hold this person accountable. Because I want, and that's the thing, quid pro quo. You do something for me, I do something for you. If you want me to do something for you, I'll be more than happy to vote for you. I'll be more than happy. But you got to do something for me. And I feel like we've been giving up our vote way too much. And I'm not saying don't vote. That's not what I'm saying right now. I'm just saying that it's funny because this entire time, see, nobody really paid attention to that when he wasn't apologizing for the crime bill. But now he's apologizing for it. But why is he doing that? Because he knows that there is a large portion of Black people that are still upset, that even Donald Trump knows. Even Donald Trump is bringing this up because he knows, and that's a weakness. So now he has to apologize. He has to. There's no other way around it. And guess what? That only happened because we were holding him to it. For everyone else saying, oh, shut up, just shut up and vote. Shut up. You need to vote. We'll worry about that later. Man, we got to get Trump out. But guess what? Because we started holding him to the fire, we started putting that pressure on him. And that's not saying, hey, we're not going to vote, but you need to apologize. We see what you have done to us, and we're not going to let that slide anymore. We're not. So that's why he apologized. And it was enough, again, for Donald Trump and the Republican Party to see and try to attack him, to expose him for that. So we can't just keep holding these people up without being critiqued. That's not how the stuff goes. Like, even the people, I can love somebody and still critique them, and that's out of love. If I love you, I want to help you. If I don't love you, I'll just let you do whatever you want to do. And I'm not saying that I'm going to make you just critique for no reason. I know there's a lot of people that complain just for the sake of complaining. That's not me. That's not what I do. I know there's a lot of people that do that. That's not what I do. And I pray that that's not what any of you do. But there's a lot of people that complain for the sake of complaining. The only reason why I'm critiquing, or I'm saying whatever it is I'm saying, is because I want you to do better. I want this person to do better. I want to hold this person accountable. You know, because even like me and my best friend, as much as we love Barack Obama, there's some things that we still critique him on. And it's not because I think that he's a horrible person, but because he's not perfect. And if you want somebody to do better, you critique them on it, right? If I bring for instance, if I bring a drawing to, you know, or to whoever, or like if you go to that's a bad example. Let me say, if I'm in school and I go to this teacher and I just turn in an assignment, they're not just gonna be like, oh, hey, you tried. Okay, that's good enough. You tried. Okay, get on out there and be the best you can be. No, they're going to critique you. Why? Because they care. They're not just gonna let you do whatever. Because if they're just going to let you do whatever, then they don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about your future. They don't care about what you can bring to the table. And that's what we need to do. We need to start critiquing these people who we're looking up to. Yeah, I'm going to potentially help put you in office, but I'm going to critique the hell out of you. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're getting critiqued. You know, so don't sit here and shame people for holding other people accountable. And that's the only reason why he apologized for the crime bill, because we were holding him accountable. We see what you have done, and we don't like it. There's still a lot of people in jail right now to this day that have not seen the light of day, who have not been with their families, who have been taken away from their children for selling weed, for holding weed. And now you have white companies who are making so much money off of weed now. How is that fair? How is that right? But yet, some of our black brothers and sisters are sitting in jail for selling or smoking weed or whatever the case may be. Yeah, it was a crime at the time, but if that's the case now, if now it's getting legal and people are making millions off of weed, millions, not just not $40, not $60, not $80 for selling weed that we were doing, but they're making millions. Like, their percentage point has jumped up tremendously. But they're in jail still. So yes, you need to apologize for that. Yes, you have to apologize for that. I'm not just going to vote you in and you just do whatever. Those days are done. I'm sorry. And I know a lot of people don't like it. I mean, I'm sure the people who are watching here, I know y'all y'all love it, because it's like, at least we're not giving power away anymore. We have the power to hold these people accountable. People are always talking about they want change, they want things better. You can't create change without holding people accountable, without doing something different. You have to do something different. Doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity, that you think something is going to change by doing the same thing over and over and over again. Sometimes you have to do things that hurt. If I want to work out, or if I want to have muscles, if I want to be strong, I can't just sit here and just, well, I'm gonna just keep watching TV, eating potato chips and eating pizza and hopefully, man, yeah, I'm just, you know, hopefully I get muscles. That's not how that works. I gotta get my butt up, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, go out and run, go work out, lift weights in order to get muscle. You have to hurt in order to progress. You have to get out of your comfort zone in order to see something different, to do something different, to see a change. You can't do the same things that you do expecting something different to happen. You have to do something different. Sometimes you have to take a risk. I know, because I take a lot of risks. I take a lot of risks in the things that I do. Is it scary? Yes, it is very scary. It's scary because a lot of people like living in their bubble. They like living in their comfort zone, and they don't want to do anything different. If they can do the bare minimum and get some kind of a change, they would do it. I know, because a lot of us do it. If I could sit here and do and get muscles without really having to work out, hell, who wouldn't do that? But that's not reality, though. We have to get into reality. And I wanted to touch on the people who are sitting there and just saying that we, you know, talking about the people withholding. You shouldn't be withholding your vote. You shouldn't be doing this and doing that and the other. They're doing it for a reason. And they're not saying that I'm not going to vote. They're just saying I want something for my vote. I want something for it. If you want my vote, I want. Every other community does this. Joe is not going to go to the Jewish community and just be like, hey, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't Jewish. What? He would be canceled with the quickness. He wouldn't say that to the Asian community. He wouldn't say that to the Hispanic community. He even said the Hispanic community is a very diverse, multicultural community. But when it comes to the black community, it just, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I know some people might be like, oh, well, you know what I mean. Well, why would you vote for Trump? Both of them are racist. It took this long for Joe Biden to apologize about the crime bill, and it was that damaging. And let's not forget, the CDC backed it up. They supported it. The Congressional Black Caucus supported the crime bill, even though it hurt the black community. And even Joe, in that interview with Charlamagne the God, he mentioned that they backed him up. The same people who are supposed to be looking out for us threw us in front of the bus, threw us under the bus. But yet we don't say anything to them, though. We don't hold them accountable. But when it comes to somebody like, for instance, Ice Cube, who goes and talks to the Trump campaign, the Trump team, what are you doing? What you shouldn't be doing it. What's wrong? See, that's a problem. We shouldn't be going to talk to them anyway. Like, what? You know, and even touching on that was killing me about how many people were talking about Ice Cube, how they were talking so badly about Ice Cube. This is the wrong time to do this. Shouldn't be doing that. You had all this time to do this. You had all this time. Well, when is the right time? When is the best time to do this? When? You tell me when is the best time, because right now is the best time. This is the best time to do it. This is the right time to talk to these people. Why? Because they need our votes. Just like he was saying, this is a bipartisan issue. It's not just a Democratic issue or a Republican issue. Whoever can help with this contract with Black America, that's who I want to talk to. I don't have to like you. You don't have to like me. But you will respect me. That's it. Nobody says anything about America when they go and talk to their enemies and they go negotiate with their enemies. So why is it a problem when Ice Cube is negotiating with the enemy? It's strategy. That's strategy 101. It's negotiation. It doesn't mean I like you. He had to mention I don't know how many different times, I don't care about neither of these. I don't trust nor believe any of them. Basically, it's like I believe it when I see it. I just talk to him and we'll see what happens. You know, so that's the thing that kills me. And even if let's go back. Let's rewind back to Dr. Martin Luther King. He talked to Republicans. He went and talked to Republican candidates, and nobody said anything. Nobody's saying anything about him. But we forget about that. Just like Frank W. Johnson said in the last interview, I believe, we are the United States of amnesia. How quickly we forget. But it's okay because Dr. Martin Luther King did that. But Ice Cube can't? That makes no sense. Like, come on, man. Let's think. Let's stop being so emotional and start thinking logically. Seriously. Because we have to start using strategy. We can't use the same old we were doing before. You have to know who you're dealing with and know how to play that game. It's like, you know what? All right. Okay, so you want my vote? I'm not going to give it to you unless you do something for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you are afraid, that's okay. You can be afraid. Don't get me wrong. I'm not necessarily afraid. I'm concerned. I am very, very concerned, but I'm not afraid. Those are two different things. Now, you can be concerned about a lot of things. I'm concerned about so many different things right now. I'm constantly thinking because if Trump gets in office, there's a list of things I'm concerned about. Well, if he stays in office, there's a list of things I'm concerned about. But also, if Joe Biden gets in office, there's a list of things I'm concerned about. I'm concerned no matter what happens. Now, I will admit, I am evolving. I'm probably at this point now a little more concerned if Donald Trump gets in office. But regardless, at the end of the day, Black people need to stick together. We need to support one another no matter who's in office. And we need to strategize, and we need to fight with our money. We need to try to get some economic resources. We need to start supporting one another with our money. We need to stop attacking one another so much, start unifying more. So we need to do it's a lot of things that we need to do, but I'm glad that I'm at least seeing that we're starting to question and we're starting to challenge. We're starting to push back, because we can't just keep giving the same thing over and over and expecting something different to happen. That can't happen anymore. It can't. So I know some people have said, well, we'll just, wait until Joe is in office, then we'll talk about it later. And it's just like, for those people who are saying, are you really going to hold them accountable? Like, because I know there are some people who do. Like me, I'm going to hit this live. I'm going to go live and I'm going to hold them accountable for whoever is in office. So I'm going to say my piece. I'm going to say what needs to be said. And so let me, before I go further, if you're watching, please hit this like button, share the video so that people can see it. I thank you for all the comments that you're commenting on here. Wow, some of y'all are going in. This is crazy. That's just funny. I think Ray Thornton has said no thanks on that apology. See this? See, there's some people who they feel like it's a little too late for them, and I don't blame you. I can't tell you to accept the apology. I mean, that's on you. But I mean, at least I can say, at least he gave the apology. So that's something. I want to go back to Ice Cube. So when Ice Cube was talking, when he was talking to the Democratic and Republican side, there was a lot of people that were upset about Ice Cube, and saying that he shouldn't have, like I said, done it this late. Why are you doing this? You had all these years to do this and do that. And who does he think he is? And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just like, well, okay, so what do we want? What do we want? We tend to complain about some of the silliest of things, So it's just like, you sit here and you say all these celebrities that have this money, that have this influence, that can say something for the Black community, and they don't say anything, and you're mad about it. You're annoyed about it. Dang, they need to say this, they need to say that, and dang, they got all this influence and they could be doing some great things for the Black community, but they don't. And now here you have somebody trying to do some things for the Black community, and you're mad about it. How does that make sense? Ice Cube could be out here talking about, man, F these hoes. I'm about to smoke weed every day, popping mollies. I'm popping mollies. You know what I'm saying? He could be saying all this kind of stuff, but he's not. Actually, he's not even really saying much. He's been showing that action for a lot of these years. And I just really recognized that recently with all the stuff he's done. He left from rap to become an actor, which a lot of people weren't really doing that. I mean, Ice-T did, but You know, it wasn't really a lot of rappers really doing that. I mean, I think like Ice Cube, Pac, Ice-T, a few others. But not only did he become an actor, this dude became a producer. He became a writer. He took it to the next level. He kept taking it to the, and then he created his own league. He created his own league. Remember when we used to have a league? Y'all remember that? Back in the early 1900s, we used to have our league. Now we don't. Now basically we have to ask for a job. How many black owners in comparison to white owners? Especially in football. Let's not even talk about football. How many black owners? Somebody put in the comments, how many black owners do we have in the NFL? I'll be happy to look at these comments. Yeah, please put down how many owners, black owners, do we have in the NFL? Please let me know. And exactly. So if you can't say about any, we don't even, we used to own, now we don't own anything. And now you have somebody who is an owner. And this same person who doesn't have to do anything, he didn't even have to write a contract for Black America. He didn't have to do that, but he did. He didn't have to do that. All the stuff he could be doing, he could be sitting back, sipping on a Mai Tai on the beach somewhere, saying, it ain't got nothing to do with me. Because how many rappers have we heard, man? It ain't got nothing to do with me. Well, there's stuff going on with them that ain't got nothing to do with me. Man, I'm out here trying to get this money, man. I'm out here, man. I'm out here trying to have fun, man, get this money. We ain't critiquing them, though. But the person who's actually trying to do something for the community, you want to critique them. That's idiotic to me. It's idiotic. Let's get out of that. And sadly, it goes back to when we were pitted against one another because of that Stockholm syndrome, right? You want to, let me hold around my oppressor. Oh no, don't say it. Don't you say nothing bad about it. Just get out there and vote. You get out there and it's just stop it. Come on, man. Listen. And again, I'm not saying that I'm not gonna vote. I'm not saying that any of these people who are watching aren't gonna vote, but we need to start holding them accountable. We need to start asking for something in return. And if we put you in office, best believe I'm going to hold your butt to the fire. I'm going to hold your feet to the fire because you didn't do what you said you were going to do. That's why when he was talking, and also when people saying he had all these years, they're the ones that reached out to him. The Republican, Trump's campaign team and Biden's campaign team, they reached out to Ice Cube. So how is this the wrong time? You talk to them. You tell them, hey, no, this is the wrong time. You shouldn't be reaching out to Ice Cube. Don't get on Ice Cube. It has nothing to do with Ice Cube. He just said, hey, I got this contract out here. They can look at it. They can say, do whatever they want. I'm here. If they want to talk to me, they can come talk to me. I'm here. But yet we want to attack somebody who is trying to do something for the community. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. And the sad thing is, when I mentioned Dr. Martin Luther King earlier, black people attacked him too. All the stuff he was doing, no, this is the wrong time. He shouldn't be doing this. Shouldn't be out here. He's making it harder for us. He shouldn't be out here doing the same thing. How can we not see this? How can we not see that these same things are happening? We are doing the same things to one another. We are tearing down our potential leaders. Now, I'm not saying that he is our leader, but he is a leader. Think about that. He is not our leader, but he is a leader. Meaning, he is one of many leaders. I know it's people that can't really walk and chew gum at the same time. He doesn't have to be the guy. He doesn't have to be the guy. But we need as many people as we can who are fighting for black people, who are fighting for the black community, who are fighting for equity. who are fighting for us to get resources, who are fighting for us to finally have what we should have had a long time ago. There's nothing wrong with that. And there, same thing like Dr. Martin Luther King said. You tell us to wait. When? When? When is the right time for you? When is the right time? Even James Baldwin said, you told my father to wait. You told my mother to wait. You told my brother to wait. My sister, my cousin, my son, my daughter. You're telling us to wait for your justice. For your version of equality. I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting for a perfect time. Now is the right time. Now it's better than ever. And again, context. He's not saying, hey, don't vote, people. He's just saying, hey, we need something in return for our votes. Let's start thinking logically and stop thinking emotionally. That runs you into a wall every single time. But if you stop and think logically, you go, oh, wait, oh man, I almost hit that wall. Whew, let me calm down for a second. Woosah. Woosah. Let's think about this. Let's start thinking logically and strategically. If white people can do it, why can't we do it? They do it all the time. They negotiate, they strategize, they practice quid pro quo. We need to start doing the same. One of the last things I kind of want to touch on is that I need to we need to just start helping one another more, just start supporting one another a lot more than what we have been doing. And I'm glad to see that we are doing that. Oh no, actually no, this is the thing I wanted to say. So I remember when I'll give you a story. When I was working at the Grove, and that's like I think the second highest grossing mall in the world in Los Angeles. I was working at the Grove, and we as I was working with a lot of different people, like I was working with basically LA is another melting pot in a sense, similar to New York. But I was working with this one of my Asian coworkers, and this was around the time when I think Sandra Bland died and Eric Gardner died, and I was, complaining about all the stuff that's going on. Like, man, this is messed up. They keep doing this to us, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And she told me, now she is Chinese. She told me that the Chinese community don't respect Black people, which that's not really a surprise per se. I know to some of you, but they were saying that they don't respect us because we beg so much. We're always complaining and begging and stuff like that. And I was telling her at the time, I was like, well, I mean, if we didn't say the things that we were saying, we wouldn't, these things wouldn't get done, or the different measures that would get passed, that basically everybody else benefits off of us, because it extends. And I didn't even realize at the time because of, like, I think Dr. Claude Anderson mentioned this, and even Ice Cube mentioned this about, with all these different things that they pass, and that's supposed to be for us, they put in the term minority. So it's not just for us, but for all these other people. So it's never really just for Black people, but it's for all these other folks, so they benefit too. But I was telling her, I was like, if we didn't do this stuff, you wouldn't benefit. It was just like, if we didn't complain about, for instance, getting more opportunities in Hollywood, then because we did that, we need some more opportunities. There needs to be more diversity. Then guess what happened right after that? Then here come some of the Asian American actors. Oh yeah, hey, we need some more diversity too. We need some of that too. We're not getting opportunities. So because we fought for ours, then everyone else gets their, that's when they finally find their spine, and they're just, oh yeah, hey, we need ours too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the black people. Yeah, us too. So, but it was interesting that she said they don't respect us, and the reason why that community and I'm sure other communities as well don't really respect us because we're always complaining and begging, and we're not demanding anything. You don't demand. You just beg and don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with marching. It has a purpose. It has its purpose in some way. I'm not going to say it doesn't have a purpose. It has its purpose, but there needs to be more than that, And this is that more that we need to be doing. But a lot of people that look like us have been shaming us for trying to do that more. Let's stop doing that. Let's stop shaming one another and let's start learning from one another. It's like, hey, okay, so what do you think we're gonna get from that? Like what happened and not even from a judging place, but just like, okay, all right. Well, hey, and if you're right, we have been marching for decades now. It's like, I mean, my grandparents marched, my parents marched. We're still marching. And we're still getting shot down in the streets. We're still getting beat down. We're still getting disrespected and all this across the board. It's time for a change. It's time for something different to happen. And the same thing that we've been doing, we can't keep doing that anymore. We got to do something different. We have to do something different. We have to start adding other elements to the table. We have to start strategizing on different things because the same thing isn't working anymore that we've been doing. That's not to discourage you, but that's to empower you. Start thinking, what more can I do? Because some of the same people's like, well, we'll hold them accountable later. Are you? Again, are you? These are some of the same people that just like, hey, man, I just want to get back to some kind of normalcy so I can just live my life, worry about myself and my immediate family. And there's nothing wrong with worrying about your immediate family. That's cool. But I'm at a point now to where it's just like we have to start thinking beyond our immediate family. Because whatever happens to one person, all the way in Wisconsin, if a black family out there, that can happen to me and my family. So if that happens to them, that happens to me. There's nothing. The only thing that's separating us is distance. That's the only thing that's separating us. But we still live in the same country. So just because that happened in Wisconsin doesn't mean it can't happen in LA, or it doesn't mean it can't happen in Tennessee, or it doesn't mean it can't happen in Chicago, or it doesn't mean it can't happen in New York, Florida, Texas, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If it happens to any of us, it can happen to all of us. So I'm more about helping out the community as a whole. I know that's a grand gesture to do. I know it's a really big thing to take on. And hey, not everybody you don't have to be a leader, and not all of us has to be a leader. That's fine. We all have our key positions. Just like you have your point guard, you have your forward, you have your center. Everybody has their positions to play. But don't shame a person for playing their position. That's their position that they want to play. Let them play their position. You play yours. If you don't want to play a position, go sit on a bench and go to the locker room. Because I don't need to hear your voice if you're not adding anything. Because there's a lot of people who are trying to critique other people in the black community, but only thing that they're doing is voting. That's all they're doing. They're not asking for anything. They're not contributing any money to any activists who are out there getting arrested on behalf of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, think about that. They're not even boycotting any businesses who disrespect us. They're not trying to help the youth who need more male figures like us, who need us and strong male and female figures in the streets or in these after school programs or wherever, or just to go and talk. taking some time out of your day to go and talk to some young kids. It doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't hurt. You can't take an hour out of your day to go and talk to some kids, but yet you want to critique people, and all you're doing is voting. You're doing the bare minimum. You're not even contributing to any Black businesses. That's another one. You're not even trying to help out your own community. That's all I'm saying. And if you feel attacked, it's not to attack you, but just to open your eyes. I'm not trying to shame you, but we need to start opening our eyes and start thinking more logically. What can I do in small ways, in big ways, whatever, to help out the community as a whole? Because it's more than just me. It's more than just about me. It's not about me anymore. I'm sorry, it's not. Even me doing this, it's not about me. This is about helping the Black community. And as an extension, if you help Black people, it's going to help other people. Because guess what? If this is the ladder, and you have Black people, Indians, Hispanics, Asians, whites, if you help Black people, everybody else is helped. If you raise that ladder up, everybody else is helped, which is kind of what they've been doing in a sense anyway. But I'm not even talking, we don't need to be at the bottom anymore. We don't need to be at the bottom. I'm tired of it. Because a lot of times, and we mean what, I mean, if you think about it, black people, as much as, and I know there's always little exceptions here and there. So, but as a community, as a people, we are some of the most loving, the most helpful, the most supporting people when it comes to other groups. And just like, let's back up this other group. Let's back up the Hispanic people. Let's back up the Asian people. Let's back up the Jewish people. Let's back up everybody else. Who's backing us up? We don't even back our own selves up. We give so much of ourselves to other causes, to other groups, to other people. And not saying that that's wrong. I'm not saying that that's wrong, but we have to start giving that attention back to ourselves. It's like you can't pour from an empty cup. You keep pouring. If the cup is empty, what are you pouring? Nothing. You're drained. You're dead. You're exhausted. There's nothing to pour. We have to pour back into ourselves, and then we can start focusing on other people. If I help myself at least a little bit, here and there, not saying that I'm just going to completely close myself off from the world, but sometimes I have to pull back to help me so that I can help you. Because I can't give you everything if there's just nothing to give. You know what I'm saying? I mean, does that make sense? So I'm hoping that all of this is making a lot of sense. I'm hoping that you got something from this. Again, if you're watching, please hit the like button. Subscribe to Fly Nubian King if you haven't heard about this channel. It's an amazing channel. We have some great people on here, and I want to have this show to where I am challenging us and people, whoever's listening, even if you're not Black. I appreciate you tuning in and listening, because you just want to learn and you want to grow. And how can I help the Black community? And I appreciate that, and I appreciate you, because we need a lot of help. We just in general, just us, the world, we need help, and we need to start helping one another. We need to start supporting one another. That's why I've been saying in the last few videos that I've been doing that we need to start making it more of an act, or more of a priority to support a Black business. See, the other day, for instance, I'll tell you the perfect segue. So this shirt I have on right now, I'll show you the shirt. This is a Black-owned business from the shirt that I'm wearing. So it's called Be You, Do You, Become You. All right. This guy I know. That's Okayu. That's how you say that, Okayu. And I've been meaning to support this, buy a t-shirt for the longest. And how many times have we done that? Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it at some point. I'm gonna support it. And you just don't. and you get distracted, you start going through life, and you keep spending money with people who don't look like you, people who don't support you, and all this other stuff, and all this other things. I finally just stopped and I said, man, okay, I have this money. Otherwise, I'm gonna just dick it around and do something with it that I don't need, or go spend money at some restaurant with some friends. I didn't even mean to spend this money. I spent $20, $30, and I didn't even mean to spend that much. I could have spent that towards a Black business. So it's like, let me be purposeful in the money that I have. If I say I can't sit here and tell you, oh, support Black business. I'm not supporting a Black business. That's just not how that works. So actually, I wanna share the screen. Let me see. This is the brand that I'm talking about, the Okayu brand. So it's really great stuff. This is what I bought because I said, man, you know what? I said, let me stop just talking about it and actually just go and buy just a shirt. Let me go support. And I know typically we're like, dang, man, that's a lot of money. It's like, dude, I spend money on dumb stuff that I don't even need and I don't complain about, or I do complain about it, but I keep doing it. So, but here we have, the shirt. So this is the shirt I have. I like blue. So that's what I got. And this is a Black business. And also, this is another shirt I like. I'll show this one as well. But it's the Okayu brand. And go to theokayubrand.com. That's where you can find this. I'm a savage. I do like that. So this is nice. So if you want to go support, you can support this Black business. Or it can be any other business that you want to say. It doesn't matter. Just go support a Black business. Some Black business. Whatever Black business you want to support. It doesn't have to be this, but this is just something that I'm wearing because I want to show my support. I don't want to be just a talker. I want to be a doer because I'm tired of talking in a sense. I mean, I'm talking now, but you know what I mean. So, and sorry if I missed some of you guys' comments. I really got into it, and we need to just start supporting one another. There's a lot that we can be doing. And it's a lot that we are doing. I'm not saying we aren't doing the stuff that we are doing. We're doing a lot. This is great. We are going in the right direction. Let's just keep going. Let's keep doing it. Let's stop talking about it and let's actually do it. In a sense, if you know what I mean, if you get what I'm saying. Let's do some more doing. Again, like I said, if you're watching, be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to Fly Nubian King. We're going to have more videos like this. I'll definitely be coming back. I'm going to have an interview. I'm going to bring Frank W. Johnson back soon. So we're going to talk about some stuff. Also, if you want to listen to this in the podcast, I do have a podcast, the JT Effect, as you can see back there. Just type it in, whatever you're streaming, and you can listen there on your way to work, at work, whatever, while you're cleaning up the house. It's Saturday, so hey, you might as well be listening to it and cleaning up and let's support more of our own. Actually, another person, if you haven't done it already, go and buy the Powernomics book. The Powernomics book is amazing. I've been learning so much and a lot of stuff that it's like, wow, this makes so much sense. And what have we been doing all these years? So there's a lot that we can do. We are doing a lot as well. In regards to voting, because I know this is where I started on. I'm going to vote locally for sure. Like I'm definitely saying, because that's important. That's the local politics. That's really important because you have people in office who aren't doing the jobs. They need to be voted out, and we need to start putting some people in who at least are caring enough about what we have going on in our community. So. Definitely look locally. For the presidential election, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But just think about it. Whatever you feel that is best for the Black community, vote in your best interest. You've seen what's been going on. Like I've been seeing it. We've been seeing everything that's going on. And let's just try to just build with one another to really. No matter who's in the office, no matter who's sitting in that office, that we are going to build, we are going to grow. And whoever is in that office, that we're going to hold them accountable. Let's not just, we're going to hold them accountable. And then we just forget about it if Biden is elected. Like, okay, life is great again, whatever. No. So those people, if you're doing that, you don't need to talk. You don't need to critique. You just do what you're gonna do and go on about your business. This isn't the place for you. Okay, the place here, this is a place for people who want to make sure that things become better for our community, that we can actually get something in return for our votes, that we can actually hold these people accountable. And just like, hey, Kamala Harris, hey, that's, congratulations. Wow, the first Black female vice president. Yes, amazing. But okay, this is what I need you to do. Okay, you want to get back in office, huh? You want to, okay, well, 2024, you got to do something for me. Huh? You need to do something now also. So you're in office. We got you in here. You need to do something. And I don't want to hear, just like that video where she said, had an interview, like, I'm not just only going to do something for Black people. You need to do something only for Black people. Because you only do so, there's bills where it's only for Jewish people. There's bills where it's only for the Asian community. There's bills where it's only for the Hispanic community. There needs to be something where it's only for Black people. And I don't want to hear anything that, oh, well, we helping all people. A rising tide lifts all boats. I don't want to hear that. No, I don't want to hear that. What are you going to do for the Black community? That's what we need to ask. What are you going to do for the Black community? I don't want to hear about these other groups. I don't want to hear about these other people. Just like how y'all put it in here, be one. Be one. Black first. Then I worry about everybody else. Not saying that I don't care about anybody else, but I care about my community. I care about my home, my base. That's what I care about. Same thing like how they care about their home and their base. I'm doing the same thing. Don't shame me for doing what you do. Hey, this is just how it goes. Sorry. Hey, I mean, I care about my folks. And so, because we, like I said, we pour so much into other communities, we're not pouring enough into ourselves. Let's start pouring into ourselves. Let's hold these people accountable. Let's challenge them. We can love them and still challenge them. Just like we have parents, and not everybody's parents do anything perfect. They're not perfect, and you still critique them, but you still love them. So just because a person is in office and we can't, let's not say anything. Let's not say. Come on, man. We have to give people more credit. You have to give people more credit. If this person doesn't want to vote, they probably didn't want to vote anyway. I know some people probably thinking, man, you got this platform, you influencing people. The only thing I'm influencing people to do is to think. So that's my influence, if anything. I don't even know if I have that much of an influence. Y'all can tell me, but that's fine. Oh, so I think Junin Zone said he can give you a laundry list of Black business to support. Like, let me see. Actually, I'll show this. Like Noir Caesar on Gumroad, X on Demand, Quelle TV, Black and Sexy, We Buy Black, Adventurous Minds. So there you have it right there. Thank you for your suggestion. I really appreciate that. Thank you all for tuning in, man. This has been amazing. I appreciate you. Really. I wanted to share this one last thing before I get out of here. I meant to share this actually in the last interview with myself and Frank. So this is what people were saying. I pulled this from Sean King's post on this was the right time to show confusion, show shame on him. Also, this was shown his actions were greatly premature. He should have sought wise counsel, which that's interesting. But I'll continue. Bottom line, he's allowed himself to be used by this administration. He had 4 years to sit down with them and create this plastic plan, period. Okay. Bad timing. Ice Cube and Trump are at least 4 years behind on the talks. He is being used. I'm pissed because Ice Cube knew better and still went at this late in the election. I think there's a typo in what they said, but okay. But I also want to show these too. It wasn't all bad. Definitely didn't endorse the cordial Democrats either, as he was told to wait patiently and just see what happens after the election. And that's real. That happened. So the Democrats went to go meet with Q, but they told him, we'll talk about this after the election. Huh? You can talk about it now. Like, there's nothing stopping you from talking about it now. Why do we have to wait till after the election? Let's talk about this now. But, hey, again, whatever. And then there was this. I never understood how we scream, yell, and spit about what we want, but can't meet or negotiate with others. This is why people have to be their own person and not follow the crowd. I'm with you, Cube. You're on a different playing field. Do what you know and dismiss the naysayers. So those are the things that was said. So for everybody who was really trying to go in on Cube and say this wasn't the right time, when is the right time? I mean, they say you had 4 years and all this stuff to do. I'll say this. If I want something from somebody else and I really want it bad enough, but they tell me, hey, I mean, if I'm going to do this for you, you're going to have to do something for me. I might not like it, but guess what? That's what I want. And I'm going to be a lot more open to hearing what they have to say. Now, if they come to me when I don't need them, when I don't need their help, and they, hey, man, hey, John, can you do this for me? Do this for me? I'm just like, no, why would I do that? Like, I hear what you're saying, but it's not important to me right now. So, kind of, you know, well, I'll think about it. And that doesn't work. That's not how negotiation works. And you're talking about you had all these 4 years. When has, okay, for instance, with the police going about getting slaps on the wrist for killing black people, you know, and very, 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 very few actually getting arrested and being put in jail. And yet we're still talking about police reform. How many times have we been talking about police reform? We've been talking about that for years. Police reform. Oh, we need more police reform. We need more police training so they can kill us even more. We have these body cameras. There was a form of police reform. We got these body cameras, and they turn the body cameras off. We need more training for that, to keep your body cameras on. Hey, remember, keep the body camera on. You got to press it. Yeah, don't press. You're gonna turn it off. Don't press it. Yeah. No, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So it's just like I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear police reform, because it's the same old song and dance that they've been doing. That means I really don't want to change anything. I hear what you're saying. Let me make it seem like I care so that I don't do anything. And it's like, no, man. So this is the right time to do this. Also, to the person that I posted up that said he needs to seek wise counsel, Ice Cube went to Black educators, Black scholars, Black lawyers, doctors. The list goes on. And all these people that he went to, Ice Cube just didn't sit down and say, you know what, I'm going to write. I wrote the Friday script. I can write this. No, he didn't do that. He sought counsel. So don't speak on things that you don't know anything about. If you don't know anything, be quiet. That's why in this interview, in this video that I said earlier, I might be wrong, and I'm open to being wrong. That's why I said if I'm wrong, put in the comments for whatever I said. So you know, that's all I'm saying. So we need to stop critiquing people when we don't even know the facts. You don't even know the facts. You don't even know what happened. And again, the Democrats and Republicans went to Cube. He didn't go to them. They went to him. Critique them. Again, that's it for me today. I appreciate you guys again. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video. I will be back again. Thank you for sticking with me. I wasn't gonna do a 2-hour video like with the other ones I did, but I mean, Frank was killing it with the info. I don't have that much info as he did, but I just wanted to touch on these topics because this was really important. If you want to learn more about managing your money, and some of us do need to learn more about managing our money, make sure you go subscribe to flynubianmoney.com, because we all need to be, this is all a part of it. We need to start being more thoughtful and responsible with how we're using our money. So go to flynubianmoney.com, and that will help you, you know, with your finances and things like that. So again, I appreciate you all for tuning in, man. I really appreciate it. Make sure you go subscribe to Fly Nubian King if you haven't already. Hit the like, share, let other people see this. Thank you. And please, if you have any questions for me for the next time, I'll look in and I'll talk about it for later. Thanks again. Hope y'all have a good rest of the day. Love you guys. Peace. Go support a Black business.